Hello everyone, my name is Fontaine and welcome back to another episode of Honkai Impact. I don't know when this video is going to go up because today we'll be out of our way and try to explore like a side story. So the thing that is different about this expansion is that we're going to play with like a familiar characters and two new characters, one of them being male. Now, as you may have already known, Valkyries have certain immunities to the Honkai, and usually males like me, they don't have great Honkai resistance, so they just turn into zombies immediately. So it's kinda interesting that we are going to have our first male playable character. So here it is. She is Mei, believe it or not. She looks kinda different though. Alright, let's talk to her. You stood on the vantage point and looked at the giant floating mass in the distance. What on earth is it? The setting sun stained the sky red. The dusky glow flickered around the strange floating mass. You suddenly felt that it was pulsing with life. The red light seems like blood flowing in its veins. Thinking about the mission? A familiar voice came from behind. Yes, I am. We'll talk about this later. I need you to take care of something simple right now. Here, you'll write the mission report this time. Sign here and give yourself a codename. So because this is the first playable male characters, we are going to jump straight into his shoes. So this is us. The default name is Adam. I think I'm going to name myself. Sure. Let's go with Han. Han, are you sure about this? Yeah, it's my real name. Fine. Don't come looking for me if the overseer doesn't like your choice. Miss Raiden chuckled and looked to the strange thing floating in the sky. What is that thing? It never showed up in our satellite surveillance photos. An identified flying object? A pointless yet absolutely correct answer. Maybe that's why you're top of your cohort in San Freya. I know they ran Squad 4 by the book, but I wouldn't mind if you get imaginative. My intuition tells me that thing in the sky is connected to Mr. Wells' disappearance. Let's head indoors. We'll talk there. Okay, so what is this thing exactly? 1 PM, April 27, New Moor, Saint Fontaine. Let's go through what we know so far. 14 days ago, on April 13th, it's gotta be a 13th now, isn't it? Mr. Welt left the ET studio for an official visit to Saint Fontaine. He arrived at the Cairo airport on April 15th and then took a maglev train to Saint Fontaine. Our satellite last saw him alighting at Saat station, then we lost track of him and he went silent. Our mission is to find him and escort him safely back to Schicksal HQ. Alright. I want to know more. Go ahead, ask me. Know anything about Saint Fontaine? An ex-colonial city with over 600 years of history. It gained independence in the middle of the last century. Cash crops are the city's main source of income, but the tourism sector provides much more. The colonial history left the city with a rich multicultural heritage and urban landscape. Though affected by the Great Eruption, it was one of the first African cities to leave Schicksal 8. So who is Wal Yang? Also known as the Joachim Nokian Virtanen, as written in the report. Second Herrscher of Reason and former sovereign of Anti-Entropy. Currently the director of ET Studio. I haven't seen Mr. Weld for years, but the professor speaks of him very often. Alright, so I have no more questions. Mei nodded, but her smile slowly faded. I felt this was a simple search mission when I first read the briefing. Mr. Weld often went missing, but he always came back and fought the most dangerous battles during the Honkai War. Though he may be a Herrscher, he's also the most reliable friend and companion. But after arriving at this place, I found that the mission is not as simple as it seems. You think? There is like a floating red objects in the sky, so yeah, I think that's not going to be simple. Something is wrong, and it's not just that huge floating structure in the sky. What do you think? Yeah, so if the city is deserted, then that means there is something going on there, so let's go with that. Very observant, Han. I noticed the same things. Schicksal satellites scan every inch of Saint Fontaine, but they found nothing. The images shows us a typical city, but that's obviously not the case. I don't see any resident or a living thing. It's nothing but a facade. Invisible barriers, jam signals. Someone is trying to hide the city from the rest of the world. There is someone who wields powers capable of fooling the entire world. Miss Raiden thought hard. The anomalies are bad enough, but I see an even bigger problem. Mr. Wells' visit to this place? Indeed. If someone is trying to hide the truth of the city, why would they attract Mr. Wells' attention? Mr. Wells hardly wields any power. He's practically useless. Unless the abductors are interested in his past identity. Our surveillance failed to reveal the truth of his city. We lack clues of what transpired in this place. Han, we'll set up our base here. We'll split our forces and collect more intel. Report back here in the evening. This Honkai-powered comm equipment can do so much more, but it is our only way to maintain contact. Right, so Honkai Impact doesn't exactly have like an open world, but Honkai Impact doesn't actually have an open world, but they've been trying to add this sort of like mini games or thrown around. Sometimes it's like an event like the Arc City, and other times there's this 3 fixed events, and their open worlds are actually relatively small. I would say that we look kinda nice, kinda attractive as well. I love the trench coats, and then there's those like casual clothes, I guess like semi-formal clothes inside. I kinda like that. Alright, so welcome to Saint Fontaine. Was it an earthquake? Or explosion? Whoa, what is this? This red stuff is weird. Something is moving. So we're obviously not going to face Honkai creatures, but oh my god, what are you? I need to report this to Miss Raiden. Okay, so this kinda reminds me of Devil May Cry for some reason. You okay, Han? Your Honkai energy level is low. Yeah, had an encounter. Wait, you ran into enemies? Honkai beasts? No, it's some creatures I never saw before. Alien creatures? And hostile? No shortage of surprise in this mission. The road here has collapsed. I need to make a detour. Gonna take some time to meet you. If only Carol was here. Are you alright, Han? Yeah, those slime monsters can hurt me. Thought so. Guess I'm worrying too much. Be careful. Of course she's going to worry. Mei is like very caring, like one of the kindest characters in the entire series. Okay, we got some shielded enemies. New monster. Oh my god, this guy has a shield. Oh, so that's our QTA, I guess. Han, I ran into them too. You were right, not Honkai beasts. They felt more like mechas. Yeah, they move slow like mechas. But I feel something is amiss. They're not nature's children, not from science. More like something emerged in a child's nightmare, put together with fragments from 1,000 different monsters. Kinda poetic there, Mei. I'm sending the data back to HQ. The Overseer and the Doctor should be interested. Han, where you at? Near the SAD station. Oh, right. You wanna check out the map? Come back when your investigation is done. Let's rendezvous in the evening. Okay, so I believe this is the station. Things not looking good here. So maybe... Yeah, this is like a perfect place for a boss fight, honestly. Okay, what is happening? Things are crumbling. Because the camera is locked, there is going to be a boss. Jump and attack its head to deal damage. Oh, frick. Okay, this is like more technical than regular gameplay. I like it, actually. That being said though, my health is not looking good. Nice. Oh, they don't even drop anything. Okay, it basically agrees with the settled imagery, which means the sign of human activities were forged. Who would do that? And why? You're back, Han. We've collected a great deal of intel. Some might even shock you. I've used laser beams to ascertain the shape of this barrier. It's not a cylinder, it's a sphere. Significant laser beam deflection were found at the top and peripheries of the city. From my calculation, the center of the spherical barrier should be at... the strange island in the sky? That's right. That floating structure may be connected to the anomalies we're seeing in the Sign Fontaine. And probably those unidentified creatures as well. I've sent the collected data back to our HQ. Dr. Einstein will give us an answer, hopefully. Alright, have you found anything? Not exactly. Speak plainly, you're not the type of person who keeps secrets. Go ahead and tell me what you found. Even things you take for granted may mean something useful. You told Miss Raiden what you saw today. I see. I'm glad that the map still works. It would make things easier for us. The red crystals are worth looking into. I'll send the data back to HQ for further research. We learned quite a lot today. However, we still have nothing on Mr. Wells' whereabouts. I'll come up with a plan based on what we have so far. I can use your help, Han. HQ gave us some answers, Han. The Overseer wishes to have a word. We're ordered to find a flat, elevated location and assemble an array of Honkai detectors. I've picked up a spot. It's not too far from the Saad station. I'll fill you in on the way. Dr. Einstein came up with an idea, and the Overseer talked about it with me. We think it might actually work. The doctor said we could locate Mr. Yang through Honkai energy readings. By pairing our detectors up into an array, we can extend the radius to 80 kilometers, or 1/12 of the urban area. Yeah, waiting for Carol. Yeah, join her device to the array to cover the entire Saint Fontaine. But that's not the point. We might find too many signals. Yeah, the Overseer has the same concern. After Honkai ended, 99% of Honkai energy is sealed in the moon. But still, there is some left and scattered around the globe. It's no threat, but it's out there. If we activate the detectors, we'll get a Honkai energy map of Saint Fontaine. So, we need to improve the detector's accuracy. No. We're not looking for Honkai energy only. We're looking for a harsher energy. Switch to another character to automatically follow the enemies mid-air. Oh my god, you can actually fly. Okay, the shield is broken. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, this is very Devil May Cry. In Devil May Cry, the gameplay is basically you need to slash enemies and do not hit the ground. Yeah, Mei can just fly. My god. Yeah, she's not even touching ground right now. There you go. Oh god, this is so fun. It's not as technical as Devil May Cry though, which is kind of appreciated because I'm not a hardcore gamer. But it does give you like a very easy sense of good. If it came a few months later, we might get to see the wonder of how many right whales spotting at the time. Let's take a vacation here after we finish the mission. Keep heading upward from this platform and you'll reach your destination. Okay, what is that? Oh. Okay, we got a Blade Lady. Okay, which is, I will assume, a boss fight. Oh, frick. Oh my lord, what the frick is this one? I have to actually fly. If I land, I'm going to get damage. Oh, what the? Everything becomes dark? Oh, frick. Okay, teleporting dudes, because of course. Oh my lord, what the? Code 13, the death. Oh my god, she's pushing us. To prevent being chased, what do you mean? Oh, that must be it, right? Okay, we're going to face her again, but after this. Another new monster. Yeah, this one looks like a human. Correct. So it looks more artificial than fragmentary. I have a theory, Han. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Some humans were turned into them? That sounds horrible, Han. I got goosebumps. We've analyzed the data of monsters, remember? Their structures are completely different from that of a human. I think these monsters are some fake creatures made according to human appearances by someone or some groups. They have so many similarities to that of a human, which are put together in such an unnatural way. It feels like their creators knows nothing about human civilizations and was just mixing whatever he or she saw. Things are getting weirder and weirder. Let's take a short break here. I'll speak to the overseer. She and the doctor should be interested in what we found. Yeah, I mean, so far I have like a very good impression of this expansion. This is way more fun than Honkai Impact, honestly. Which is kind of weird because this is still Honkai Impact. Good job, Han. I have faith in the professor's solution, but the radius of detection is too small. If nothing shows up, should we wait for Carol, or should we reposition and try again? We'll discuss about this later. May frowned. It was obvious she was troubled by something. HQ is interested in the Saint Fontaine creatures. The professor wants us to gather more intel. It was supposed to be Carol's mission, but there are only 2 of us right now. Something happened to the kid? Well, I'm afraid something did happen to the kid. Well, she ran away from home. She's gone, away, living without duty or something like that? I can't remember. Ran away from home. Yes, don't worry. We just received a message this morning. We got her. She didn't want to come to Saint Fontaine and ran away while her parents slept. She's pretty good at covering her tracks. We couldn't find her until she ran out of money and turned herself in. Well, that sounds like Carol, alright. HQ told me she's heading our way. We have to straighten her up a bit when she arrives. She did go well on us. Not that serious of an offense, but we must maintain discipline. Yeah, she was probably a little impulsive. She's a good girl, but she can lose her temper and do some really crazy stuff. I used to know someone just like her. Oh, is that Kiana? She gazed into the distance and briefly lost herself in thought. She quickly recovered and smiled. Back to the mission. So the reason that she does that and she doesn't actually mention Kiana here is because something did happen to Kiana. Something that makes her so that she cannot return with Mary in the moon. The professors need to know the types, forms, behaviors, and tactics of the creatures. If we could trace their origins, we might be able to identify the mastermind and their reasons for doing all of this. That's it for now. Keep it up, Han. How is your weapon? Are you getting used to it? Yeah, it's pretty useful. Good to hear. Our R&D division forged this sword according to your specifications. We wanted a male as powerful as a Valkyrie, so we fitted something special within the blade. It absorbs and stores ambient honkai and releases it on command. Think of it as a weaponized honkai pet. Here comes the caveat. It's the first prototype we built, and we're unsure if there is any potential danger. I objected to the weapon. No one should be risking their lives to test a potentially dangerous device. But the R&D division told me that you gave them your informed consent. Yeah, I mean, yeah, power comes with risk. You seem to have understand the principles behind such weapons, hon. I believe you can speak from experience here, May, because you once wielded the power that can actually destroy humanity, namely, the core of the Herrscher of Thunder, so yeah. Though you can absorb honkai at a faster rate, your body is also more vulnerable to honkai overdose. Schicksal's anti-zombification agent is not without limits. Honkai corruption is irreversible. I have very high hopes for you, Han. I am honored to have you in my squad. Thank you. Promise me that you'll keep yourself safe. You have a strong sense of duty, but do not exceed your limits. The album... Oh, okay, so this is the enemies. So I believe there is 21 enemies. Ah, interesting. Oh, and I think they are based on the major arcana tarot cards, right? Yeah, okay, it is set right there. I didn't even see that. So this is the Fool. It looks kind of menacing though, with those like very sharp claws. This is the Mage. Made for Miss Raiden. It's kind of true though, because you need to actually fly to hit this thing. And then the Emperor. This is the big guy. And said Carol looks tarky and cheap. I'd never buy this lame model. Because it looks like a Gundam model, honestly. Yeah, it kind of looks like Gundam. And then the Lovers. I don't know why you call that the Lovers. It's Senpai, said Carol. Yeah, it's me. Can I upgrade this one? Nope. Okay, the currency here is actually pretty expensive. Around like 2,000 things. Okay, so I got my work cut out for me. Huh. Alright, I've spoken with the HQ. The Overseer wants to inspect the city with her own eyes. I'm setting up a panoramic hologram to fill her in. Let's begin the construction of an array. Hello, May. Glad to see you, Overseer. You look bad. Stay up again? Glad to see you, Overseer. Hi, did we meet at Saint Freya? The memory is still fresh. It feels like yesterday. I didn't know you were such a smooth talker. School days are always memorable. I remember when I was principal. I call it a good year if we had any graduate at all. Well, enough chit-chat. Now share with me what you're seeing, please. Panoramic hologram on. Oh, this is cool. Can we move? Saint Fontaine. That city. Nothing like the metropolis in the satellite image. How does it cover itself under Schicksal's watchful eyes? The surveillance system designed by Grandpa is no dummy. Not sure, but we'll find out. But first things first, finding Welt is our top priority now. We all worried about him. Oh, can we actually stalk this guy? Oh, we can assassinate them. When an enemy is not alert to you, go near them from behind to assassinate them. Instant death. Very nice. And we need to set up detectors at these locations. As long as the detector detects any energy waves caused by the Herrscher charge, we can rule out the regular Honkai energy and locate the Herrscher. May, I've asked the doctor. Looks like we have no record of Mr. Yang's Honkai energy sample. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I happen to have what the detector needs. That'll be my own. The power of the third Herrscher. Very nice. Install the Honkai energy detector. How is it? Can it identify? I'm trying. It's analyzing my energy data now. Might take a while. Please wait. Sure. I remember May calls you Han, right? Yes, Overseer. Come on, don't be so uptight. How does it feel, working with May? Yeah, Miss Raiden is very nice to me. Good to hear. I've known May for a long time. She was always nice and sweet. Oh, not that she isn't now. I mean, if anything, she's even more sweet and dependable now. Like me, she also lost someone important, but she's stronger than me. I bet it broke her heart, but she never showed. When my life hit rock bottom, she stayed by my side and cheered me up. May spoke about you to me. She said you had great potential and seemed very mature. Oh, thank you, May. They never said that about me before, but I'm hearing it now from time to time. Guess being mature means keeping silent all the time. Yeah, matter of fact, I can be quite talkative at times. Good. Knowing when to speak and when not to is an important skill. Anyway, Han, please try to help May anywhere you can. Thanks. Oh, right. What's her status? Probably don't need to wait for Carol now. Huh? Found it? Yes. 2 hits came up. One is me, and the other one is on the city's outskirts. Very close. Great! Now we can assure that I'm going quick! What's going on? Our comm is jammed. But we use Honkai-powered comm gear. Who else could be using it nowadays? Quick, Han! Take over the frequency with your comm gear. Welcome, honorable sky people. Are you here for... I'm hearing something. May, can they hear us? No problem. Han's receiver is off. Progress? I knew it. Don't worry, everything is fine. You wouldn't understand anyway. The voice sounds familiar. It kinda sounds like the previous overseer, really. Let me teach you human language. You need to know your target to replace them. And all knowledge starts with language. Definitely rings a bell. He is, Overseer. Any idea? Teresa? Name. A suitable name. It's him! Overseer, Teresa. Could it be? Auto-apocalypse? Yeah. It's Grandpa! It's Grandpa! I've never mistaken his voice. It's his voice. His tone. It's Grandpa! Oh god, Otto, what are you doing this time around? So yeah, you actually heard it right there. The previous overseer has been dethroned and it's now replaced with Teresa Apocalypse. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you want to see more of this Honkai Odyssey, make sure you like and subscribe. And with that, I think I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.